All right, I just started then.
Okay.
All right,
Shoot. I
so
wish that whole thing you said you were teaching on was on recorded. Shoot.
it's, well, we'll go over it. All right, so here's another tip that I use. This is memory foam. When I got like a memory foam pillow or whatever for the bed. This is extra and I cut it off and I like to knit on top of it because my needles don't move for the double points.
Oh,
That
It
is
doesn't
nice.
really work for the circular knitting, but that's how I grew up knitting on circular needles. So I take the needle that I want to knit with, and I have to put this up a little bit, and I stick it in the foam, and then it's just easier for me to make the stitch. Now again, I hold everything in my left hand, so I am going to hold the working yarn that the main color in my left hand, the way I regularly knit, and I just let the other one go free below it. All right, and so now I'm going to start where we had, that first stitch, which is the edge, right? It's like white, black, white,
Yep.
and I'm starting the gusset, and it's the same row, so you don't have to worry about it. But
Mhm.
I'm going to do that and start here. So I'm starting main color, and always at the edge, you have to pull a little bit
Tighter.
tighter. Okay. You have to pull a little bit tighter so that you don't get like a bumpy edge, or you just want the stitches to be nice and even. Okay, so there's my contrasting color here, or my main color. There's the contrasting color, and there's the main color. And now I'm going to do the rest of the pattern. And I'm just aligning it with, I have a magnetic board under here, and this is a magnet. So I can move it up and here on the side. So the first time I went through this pattern for this mitten, I made like little check marks up here that I had done the row. Because once you put it away, all hell breaks loose, and here you are. So I put a little check mark, and I know that I don't have to repeat that one. So here I am going along, and so now I'm on the contrasting color, and again, I just sort of, I guess with the contrasting color, I actually just sort of let it go, and I pick it up when I need it. And because I do that, I'm not really worried about the gauge when I make the stitch. I'm worried about the gauge when I make the next stitch. So here I'm tugging on it a little bit for the tension. And the same thing, so the same thing when I'm making the main color that I'm holding in my hand, the way I regularly knit, I tugged on that stitch that I made before. And I don't really worry about the gauge at first. I tug on it when I make the second stitch. So here again, I'm using the contrasting color. I don't worry about the how tight it is, and now I just sort of tug it a little bit when I'm knitting the second stitch. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so now I have 3 main colors. And then the end of the 15, like I said, Jackie, you weren't here. I don't think you were here. So what I do for double points is I divide them up evenly if you can. So here in this pattern, there's 15 stitches on each double point. because I have 4 double points.
Right.
And then I put a line at where the 15th stitch is, and I put that all the way up here so that when I'm looking at it, I know immediately where that is, so I can glance at my pattern and see that it matches. And
So if I'm doing circulars, then should I put a marker halfway between the 30?
well, you don't actually have to do that because you're going to go all the way across. But
Oh,
you
right.
actually have to stop
Yes,
at the 15th
yes, I just keep
stitch.
going. Okay,
But-
got it.
And it's sometimes, you know, I have checks all along while I'm making the pattern. This is a simple pattern and it's just so easy to see if you're off. But
Yeah.
a lot of other patterns are so much, they're
It-
complicated and stuff. And if you get off on the stitch, you're just, you're in trouble. Okay, so I have 1 stitch of the contrasting color, and now I'm on the 2nd double point. And I don't, Bridget said that she was a little bit confused, like when I wrapped the stitch. So I'm trying to get to a point where we have something we can actually wrap the yarn back and forth.
Right.
So here's 2 contrasting colors. Here's the main color. Okay, so this is 3. So I'll just put it on like after 2. So I'll make a normal stitch.
Okay.
And now here is where I'm going to switch the yarn. So I'm going to try and get my hands out of there. And you see this is underneath, right?
Yep.
Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up differently and wrap it around that stitch. Think of it like this, you know, you roll it in your hand like that,
Yep.
and then roll it back, roll it forward, roll it back. You're
Okay.
locking that stitch. And normally I would take it like from underneath.
Yep.
So you can actually just raise it above the stitch and knit that. And then the 2nd stitch, you reverse it back down and
Got it.
however you do it is going to be just fine. So
Okay.
I have 3 stitches. I'm back to my normal pattern here. Okay, so here I have another 3 stitches. So the first one is just normal.
Yep.
And so for the last 2, I'm going to just twist it up and use the color that I need, right?
Yep. And then twist
And
it
then
back.
twist it back down to where it belongs.
Got it.
I don't know if I got it, but I'll see when I get there.
Yeah, so I think I was trying to take it kind of all the way around, right? So I see it's just kind of,
You're just,
Yeah.
I have, I lost a stitch here. There we go. So, yeah, you're just trapping it. And if you look at it, you'll see that it's trapped. So just try it on like your next thing, but you need like a normal stitch. It takes up 2 stitches. So first you have the twist, then you have the untwist.
yep.
And you can repeat that, but at some point you want to have a normal stitch in there. And the contrasting color that doesn't have a stitch, you want to make sure that that's loose enough, because that's where it can get really tight if you're too tight. That's when I'm making Fair Isle, that first stitch, I told you I don't care how tight the gauge is, because I'm going to correct that in the very next stitch that I make of that color.
All right.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to carry the yarn in my left hand and pick, because I throw. So I would normally have the yarn in my right hand, right? And it's just, I don't know. So I've tried to teach myself to do it. You know, it's just a habit. So I think maybe with these, I'm going to just really try.
It makes it makes it really easy, Bridget. And
Much
if this
easier.
is the time to try it, then by the time you're finished with 2 mittens, maybe that'll be a really good habit.
I'll be converted. I'll be converted.
Hi, Carol, I'm on a class. That's okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I just finished casting on. Yay!
So,
So I'm gonna turn it around, purl 2 together, slip 1 to the left needle. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So purl 2 together.
I'm trying to go back to the cast on. Okay. Okay, so Jackie, you got 62, right?
Yep.
All right. So now,
So I finished like this, right? Everything's on my right needle. So now I'm gonna flip it around and I'm gonna purl 2 together, correct?
okay, but so you look at here, you've cast on the required number of stitches plus
Mhm.
2.
Yep.
You don't slip the stitches back onto the left needle. So you actually have stitches on both sides of your needle, right? So,
Oh, I gotta put those back. Okay.
yep, you got to turn and then turn your work.
Okay. Okay, wait a minute. So then do I still have the yarn? Should the yarn still be coming from the back? Like if I,
For
like if I was gonna
right
make
now,
new
so
stitches?
you turned your work, right?
Okay, hold on. I may have screwed up. So if I slip them back, it's like I was going to do a new set, like do the purl or the knit in the front and knit in the back. Is that how it's supposed to be? It's supposed to be set up like that, 3 stitches on the left?
So, okay, so when you're making the stitches, you have you're really working over 3 stitches. So one of them you're knitting into the front and back, and the
Yes,
other ones you're just knitting, right?
yes, yes.
Okay, and then, oh, the door just opened. Hold on a second.
But when I finish, see, when I finish those, they end up on my right needle. So there shouldn't, why is there stuff on my left needle?
You're not knitting, okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, it says, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so it should be on one needle. All right.
Right,
Go
right.
ahead,
So I
put them
gotta
on
put
one
those back.
needle. Don't slip them back to the left needle. All right. Turn
That's
your
what I
work.
thought.
All right. So now everything is on.
Everything's like
your,
this.
are you,
Yep. So now I turn it around.
okay.
I'm gonna purl 2 together, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, my word. Okay.
And slip 1 to the left needle.
Slip 1. So slip the stitch I just made back, right?
Yeah.
So I have nothing on my right needle because I just made 2 and okay, yeah. All right, and purl 2 together again. Okay.
Okay. How many stitches did you get rid of? How many stitches did you decrease?
Well, I purled 2, so I got rid of 4, I guess. I got rid of 2,
Yep.
right?
All right, so you're on 60 and
So now I have
now
6.
you should be on the, when you turn your work, you should be on the right side and you just knit around.
Okay.
Join together and knit around.
So if you had only done bound off like one, I think there's actually a little mistake in that the instructions. It tells you to bind off one purlwise, but it puts you in the wrong spot. So so you just did the part
So if
purl
I
two
was
together,
this-
purl two together, and that's fine. You're just getting rid of 2 stitches.
Yeah, I
And
did.
so if you
Okay,
only
so
got
now-
rid of one, then when you went around into the round and you put it in the round,
I haven't done that yet. So now
then
I
I
need,
would have
now I
knitted,
need to bring in the second needle, right?
then I would have knit 2 together to make that round, and it would have made it the same thing.
So I know you told us why last week, but why do you have to do that at the end? Why can't you just
Knit 2 together or whatever.
do
make a-
61 and,
but,
yeah,
So the I-cord cast on is a circular cast on, and it actually makes a tube. And so what you're doing is you're just making the other end of the tube.
the other end of the tube.
So
Okay,
you have these 2 ends that have like, like a tube,
yep,
and you're just attaching them like that. That's all.
okay.
So
So
if you
that,
add it like that, it might be like a bulky where, it doesn't really connect. So
got it.
that's what you're doing is, it's kind of, it's a tube, but it's offset. How's that? So
Yep.
you're matching them up and making a
Yep.
tube.
Okay, all
That's
right.
what you're doing.
Is this when I add my second circular?
So, okay, so you haven't done
Hey.
the,
Quiet.
so you haven't done the 1 row yet, right?
No, so now I knit. But if I, oh, I'm so confused. This is making no sense to me.
Well,
So if I just finished and I had all my stitches on the left, and now I turn my work, how am I supposed to knit? Oh, I got to start back here at the end. I move all my stitches forward. Is that what I do? Like where I had the tail?
yeah. Okay,
Oh, okay.
so your circular isn't small enough to go in the round, right?
Right.
So you have to divide up the stitches on
Yeah.
your needles.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to knit I'm going to knit halfway and then I'm going to bring in a second needle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to knit 30 of my stitches and then bring in the second needle.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I can do that.
All right, and I'm going to let's see, finish up on this that first row of gusset. Oh, where am I here? Okay.
My dogs hear the dogs on. Hey! Oh my God. They're running around looking for the dog that just barked.
I
Okay,
think
I'm gonna
we
turn down the
should figure it
volume.
out.
Oh my God, I'm gonna kill. You guys,
And my dog's
quiet.
looking at me, wondering what is going on.
I know, my dogs hear the dog barking at the knit shop. Or is it your dog?
No, she's not barking.
Yeah, the knit. So my
Yeah, no,
Dumbo's
it's
looking.
Yogi upstairs.
Yeah, my Dumbos hear Yogi and they're trying to find Yogi. Oh, no, Yogi, quit barking, Yogi. You're killing me, Yogi. Hey, you guys, it's just my computer. Charlie, stop. Let me go let my Dumbos outside so they stop barking.
In the summer, I was washing fleeces out in the backyard, and they had their like windows open, and Yogi would he would try to play with me and stuff, and they have like a little balcony, and so he
Yeah.
would drop down a tennis ball, and then I'd throw I'd throw it up to him.
They are funny. We used to have a yellow lab that would watch TV,
Oh, that's
and if there were animals on TV, he would react to any animal on a TV. He
yeah.
literally watched television. The
Yeah,
only dog we
my
ever had that did that.
Oh, my Charlie does that. He hears a dog, any animal, he's like ready to go. And I'm like, it's a TV. Can't
Right.
you want to know the difference?
Does he ever go look behind it? That's what our lab used to do. He
That's
used to like,
hilarious.
it is
Yes, if he
hilarious.
sees like an animal running across the screen, off the screen, he would go like behind the fireplace to see where it
Trying
went.
to find it, yeah.
Yeah, that is funny.
When I did this, so I'm at the part where I have to make one.
Okay,
So the original pattern just had make one. So this one has make one left and make one right.
okay.
I never liked make one. It leaves a tiny little hole. And so what I did is I did an E wrap. Have you ever, I'll show you what that is, because I think it's a better increase, but I didn't, I did the same increase for both sides. And so I think what she did with this is that it makes it less noticeable. I don't know. Can you see it's a little bit, it's not as neat as it could be, and I think she made that neat. So on one side, it's just, it's really nice and neat, and the other side, it doesn't work because, the stitches, when you increase, they have paired increases and paired decreases, and so the stitches make the stitch lean in a certain direction. So on one side, it looks really nice and neat, and the make one is just it. What I like about it is the make one, it leaves a tiny little hole, and but it's because you're picking up on the float between the stitches, and then you're knitting up to it, and it lifts it up, and so you have a tiny little hole. But so what I used in the mitten was an E-wrap. And because I did that, it actually added fabric in, so it doesn't have the hole.
Oh,
So I'll
okay.
show you that, and then you can decide for yourself whether you want the make one or the E-wrap.
Okay.
So the E-wrap, it's really simple. You make, so here's your yarn, and you just make like a written, like if you wrote the letter E.
Okay.
And that's an E-wrap. And see, when it comes down, it's just, you've added fabric. I wish.
You're still making the same make one on the float, but you just have that wrapped around the needle?
It's not a make one. So a make one, if you pull these stitches apart,
Uh-huh.
see, like right down, what's the one that you can see more easily? The green, right?
Green.
Yeah,
Okay, so a knit stitch, it looks like a V, right?
Yes.
Bridget? You
Yes.
yes,
Yeah,
correct.
all right. So in between the knit stitches, this is like a ladder here in between them. And
Yep.
that's what you use to make a make one. You
Okay.
put the needle in that ladder and then you make a stitch. But you see, you bring it up and then you leave a little hole.
Yep,
So what I'm doing is I have a stitch. You make like a little E. It's like a little written E.
Yep.
You stick your needle in there, and the part that is like the tail
Mhm.
is on the inside, and so it actually makes like a little it makes a little stitch. But because I'm adding a length of fabric, it closes up the hole.
Okay, so when do you use this? So what do you do with that E?
Instead of the make one. So I'm to the
You
point where I have
you just
to,
wrap that around your needle and that's the make one?
yeah. Have you
Oh.
ever done macrame?
no,
No.
All right. So if you just put the stitch here over the needle like this, it doesn't do anything, right?
you're right.
So if you twist it, see,
Yep.
it actually makes a stitch that you can knit into. Um, it's a nice increase, and you don't have to have it tight.
Okay.
You can have it loose. It doesn't have it's not tight at all. The part that makes the knit one have a little hole is because you're using something that's down here. You have to
Yeah.
pull it.
Right.
So you only use this E wrap when you're doing the make one right or make one left or both?
Both.
Both.
Both. So you just wrap it. Okay, that's
Yeah.
easy. That's a lot easier than making one.
So, right, so then you would use the wrap and then you would knit into it the second time you come around, right? So
Yes.
you're okay.
So it's an increase, but
Yeah.
it's up to you. It would look neater if you use the make one left and make one right, and I'll show you how to do those. But let me.
I think I used to use the wrap. I mean, yeah, the E wrap without knowing it was an E wrap. And I just did it that way because I didn't know how to make one right and make one left.
Yeah.
I just wrap around and make a stitch. That's funny.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm-
now I'm at the point where I have to start, and I'm on the for the gusset. I'm on the second row, and you see the make one. I'm going to ignore that because that's on the back, right? We
Right.
talked about that. So I'm going to go main color, contrast, main color, and then increase. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, now I'm getting it.
So you're skipping over the increase and just doing the white, black, white, and then you're doing an increase. And then you're gonna knit all the way across or do the two mittens design and then come back around and then do another increase.
Yes, because the make one is part of the back,
Right. Okay.
and we're keeping the edge where it is.
Okay.
And let me say that a different way. So on our pattern like this, right?
Yes.
On the thumb, it's hard to see. Anything to the right of the main color,
Dark line.
yeah, the white line actually. Anything to the right of that is actually over here on the other side of the pattern.
Exactly. You got it, Bridget.
Okay.
So if you were going to write it, right, it's actually, you could actually tape it if you wanted to, and I may do that, right? It's actually like this.
Yes.
And
Just
then
like
this
that.
little part
Okay,
Yep,
On the other side. Okay, I got it now. Okay.
you're starting on the white column to the right of the black column.
Is the same as the white column on the main part of the mitten pattern.
Mhm. So we're always gonna start to the right of that black column.
yes.
Okay,
Just, it works out that there's a dark line. You know, the border of your main pattern, there's a dark line, right?
Super hard
Yeah.
to see
Yeah,
on mine.
but it's a darker line than the rest of the grid. And if
Right.
you look, it's the same, she has the exact same thing on that side. So that's like your border.
Got it.
okay. Okay, so so now I have 30 stitches on the right and 30 stitches on the left. And this is when I introduce my new knitting, my new needles.
Yes,
So I just start knitting on this one.
yep, you just start knitting.
Okay, this is weird.
And
But she's
don't use your first, you have to, no, forget. Just start knitting with the new needle.
Okay,
She's not in the round though.
I'm not in the round yet.
Well, it's all right. That's her first round,
Row.
her first row, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll be
Okay.
all right.
I don't
I've
either.
never done that, so I don't know how to do it. So this is
I don't
good too.
either. I don't know how the heck I'm doing this.
Oftentimes when I knit something from a pattern, like a sweater, I don't join it in the round the first row. And the reason is it's not, you always, when you first make you join it in the round,
Yeah.
that first stitch is always elongated and I don't like that. So I always knit or purl the first row and then I join it. And then I use the tail to
To
just
pull
seam
that
it up,
together.
and it looks perfect.
That's a really good idea too. All right. Your work is done. You can go home now.
Oh no, you're
I've
not
learned
done.
2 things. I've learned 2
I won't
things.
leave you,
All good.
Jackie.
Oh, you're not done.
I'm joking. Yeah.
I know, I'm teasing.
All right, so I'm going to go upstairs. You keep going. I'm going to go recopy my pattern and cut it apart and tape it because I think that will help me. I'll be back.
Yeah, you could add it to the other side.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So now it looks like I should probably join this mess together.
All right, now you have to make sure that it's not twisted.
Okay. It's not twisted. We are not twisted. I've made that mistake. Or not on this project, but on another project. So I do know what you're talking about. Okay. Everything's flowing. Okay, so now I can start. Now what do I do? Adding. So now I need to change the color, right?
Now, yeah, you're gonna add the contrasting color.
Okay.
Bridget, the other reasons that I don't do the round, that first join in the round, the first row, is
Yeah.
that it gives you a little bit of, oh, I don't know, fabric underneath your needle, and it's easier to tell that you haven't twisted it.
Okay.
So the very first stitch I have to make is going to be with the contrasting color on this next row, right?
Well, no, you're going to have the main color.
Oh, main color. Oh, yeah, white is black. This is gonna, okay. Yes.
You know, Jackie, if that confuses you, the different colors and stuff, I
Yeah,
think
no,
what you can do is, you know, like copy this and then have like the reverse colors,
yeah,
like edit it, and then
I know.
so your
I
black
am
would
the
be
opposite.
the white.
White,
'Cause
white
that's
is
gonna be
black.
a challenge for you.
White is black. I gotta just remember white is black. Black is white. Okay. All
Oh,
right.
good times.
Yeah. Okay, I'm up for the challenge. Oh my gosh. Okay. So how do I join this in the round if I'm introducing a new color?
Well, you just take the next stitch. Um, what I would do is I would take a stitch marker that you can open up, and I would attach both edges together, like below your stitches, because you have you have a little bit of fabric from the I-cord cast on,
Yes.
and I would hook those together so that so you have a tighter join. And the first
Say
stitch
that
you
again.
make is your main color. So you know it should be the same yarn, and then you just add your second color. It's going to be loose, but ignore that because you can tighten it from the tail.
Okay.
You can do it, Jackie. I know it.
I wish I was there. Okay. I hope I'm holding this right. So this is how I'm holding it. So the working yarn is in the back, on the back needle, right?
Yes.
And then I'm gonna work with the needle in the front,
Yes.
right? Okay, so then this is where I'm confused. Because typically I would stick it in here and I use the working yarn to get this together.
Yes.
But since I'm not going to be using this gray yarn, I'm using black yarn. How does this come together?
Well, no, all right. If you look at the pattern, the white,
Mhm.
right, is
Black.
your main color. What is your main color?
Black.
All right, but you should have used the main color for the I-cord.
But that's
No.
what. No, that's not what
No.
that's not what it said.
No, the purple is our, like, we use the purple. We use the alternating
Oh.
color for our I-cord.
All right, then.
Remember, because we had to start again.
Yep,
That's
all
why I
right,
started
You're
again, because
right.
I used the wrong color.
Yep, that's right. I had to start again. All right, here's what to do.
Okay.
Take a stitch from the back needle and
Mhm.
put it on your new needle. So we're going to change like where the round is. We're going to
Yeah,
shift
I've done
it.
this before. I just don't remember how. Okay. Yeah, Wendy has helped me with this. Okay, so I'm putting it on the needle that I'm going to be knitting with, or the needle that it's on currently.
Move
Yeah.
one from your front needle to the back needle. Is how you're holding it like that?
Yeah,
Move one from the front needle to the back needle.
from here to there,
No, the other way.
from here to there.
Yeah.
So take this. This is where the working yarn is. That's what I want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Just flip it purl wise. So you're just slipping it from one needle to the next.
Okay.
All right. Now put your needles together the way they're supposed to be.
Okay. So now they're like stuck together. So now I'm going to take the needle that I'm supposed to be working with, the front needles, and I knit that one.
You're not going to knit it. You're going to slip it onto your new needle. I mean, your where you're starting. You're using one needle, right?
Mhm.
And you're going to slip that first stitch on the needle that you're using. You're not going to.
Oh,
It's just a placeholder.
got it. Okay, so I'm just going to slip it onto here, not knit anything. So now it's joined in the round if I do that.
Yes. And so now check to make sure
Got it.
that it's
Yep.
straight.
Yep.
Okay. So what we can do is, like, if you look here, this was the end of, the beginning of my round. So
Mhm.
what we did is we can shift it so that that edge is in a stronger place.
Okay.
We can do that, or you can just put that back when you come around to it. What would you like to do? Would you like to shift it like this?
Whatever's going to be easiest to follow and understand.
So here's what we're going to do. So now your round is a little changed.
Off one,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so then when you do 30, you have one more stitch over here. So what you have to do is slip this stitch onto the next needle.
Okay, let me get there then. Okay, so now since I'm in the round, sort of. I'm not really, but I will be. Right, I will be, because right now I'm like this, right? Okay,
Yeah,
now I'm going to use my black, my contrasting color to start it,
Well, no, you're the first stitch is a main color, right?
which is my black.
Okay, your main color is black. All right. So use the black.
So now this is when, yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, we'll shift it back. It's too confusing with white and black.
It is, I know.
Yeah, so
Poor choice.
just keep that extra stitch on it. We won't shift it, okay?
So now it's that. And now I got to use the gray. And so, okay, so now going back to refreshing my memory, the main color is on top and the contrasting color is on the bottom,
Yes.
right? Okay. Oh, okay. So now I have 5 blacks in a row. Okay, got it. So when I did those 5 blacks in a row, that's when I should have grabbed that
Yep, and twisted it up.
and
And
twisted
then
and do that.
untwist it.
Okay, I'm gonna back this out so I can do that. I need to learn that. Okay, so, okay, now walk me through that. So I have both the yarns. And now what do I do? This is so confusing. Have you done this, Bridget, yet? Oh,
I did, but I'm using double points.
oh, okay.
So, but I am going to try to hold both yarns in my left hand, which I usually don't do because I throw.
Yeah,
And so I'm going to try that now.
okay. So now if I want to loop this, my gray, so it's not hanging 5 stitches over, what do I do again?
Okay,
Miss
I'm gonna
Susan?
try and do it right here. I'm in the exact same spot. So
Okay,
my main color is on top. Can you see?
okay,
My main color is on top. The contrasting is below.
okay,
And so I put the yarn, or I put the needle into the stitch that I want to make,
okay.
and then I twist it. And
So you twist it so that the gray comes above so my gray comes up. The
okay,
gray is what I'm trying to loop.
I can't tell if gray is your main color or not. So I'm going to say contrasting color. So
Okay.
just put the contrasting color up,
Up,
and then
okay,
grab the other color, the main color, and then put it back down, and then grab the main color. And there it's trapped behind.
oh, I got it, I think I got it. Oh, I think I got it. Okay. Yeah, I did it. You're a good teacher, Mrs. Forbes.
You sound like a
I
schoolmistress.
I was a little skeptical of how well I would do with the Zoom because I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't know enough about knitting to like even describe what I'm doing sometimes. Like, this is my situation. Okay.
How's your new graph look, Bridget?
Good. So I taped it on the one side, so I marked off the part that I cut off so I don't get confused. And then I taped it over here and
Perfect.
drew the lines. So I think that's gonna work for me,
Okay.
because visually that makes a little more sense than,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she could have done it a different way. So she had like, the thumb
yeah,
on both sides. But
yeah.
that still would have confused people. Um,
Yeah, talking through it's really helpful. I'm not sure that I was visualizing that. I know I wasn't visualizing that correctly, so that's good.
Do I remember correctly that you're not going to make the inside mitten too?
I'm not, that's correct.
Okay. I've seen, I don't like the inside of mittens and stuff. I like just the plain, the way I've done it. I don't like to make the insides. But I actually did make one, and we have like this alpaca yarn that is pretty inexpensive and it's
Okay,
thinner, and it feels pretty good. So that's like an option. It's a thinner yarn, so it's not as thick. Anyways, if you decide that you really do want to put a liner on it
okay.
for like, really, really cold weather.
I would like to, but I don't know if it's gonna be too hard to do.
Yeah, maybe we can just talk through conceptually how the pattern tells us to do it next time, just,
Yeah, sure. Well,
Yeah.
Like to.
it's actually really simple.
It is?
You don't have any pattern. You're just going to pick one color as
Okay.
like the inside,
Oh,
and you're just going to make the same mitten. And usually what happens is, you use a needle that's like one size difference.
smaller.
And the way she has it is that you pick up the stitches from the I cord and
Yep,
you just knit up. Other people, you actually just make another mitten and then just seam it around the cuff. So you could do that still.
oh, I see.
So it wouldn't be any harder than making, this
A
mitten,
plain colored mitten, yeah,
right? A plain color mitten.
okay,
But you have to make it a little bit smaller so that
right.
otherwise, I don't know, they look packed to me. And that's what I don't like. I like it. I like a thinner mitten.
Well, right, and if it ended up the main mitten fitting, so then the next one's smaller, it could be really uncomfortable too.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't want that after you spend all the time making mittens.
right?
But it is, I can see where it would be nice on really cold days, to have something warm on your fingers.
Yeah.
Uh, a lot of mittens are really densely packed, and these aren't. So that's why she has, the pattern isn't really dense. So that's why she has the inside mitten.
Makes sense.
Okay. First row. Done.
Great.
Yay. That's always a big deal for me. Get the first part of the work done. Woohoo.
It's a mile marker.
It is. Okay.
Well, and because I'm going to try to pick, I'm starting over.
You're
Oh,
starting
no.
over?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wait.
Oh, Bridget.
Nope, it's good. It's better. I just, I'm gonna
wanna
do
start
it.
The whole thing.
huh?
You want to start the whole thing over
Well,
with?
yeah, because it was looking really messy and I'm already worried about the tension after just a couple rows. So it's like, nope, I'm just gonna start over.
You
This is
said you
good.
were a tight knitter. Is that what you said?
I am a tight knitter, yeah.
All right. On any of the pieces, were you able to try it on your finger so that the mitten went over your palm?
No,
It didn't, or you didn't try it on?
I didn't try it on.
Okay.
Well, I think I screwed something up. I think when I was grabbing to hold the float, I think I did it wrong because it doesn't look very neat in the I definitely did not do this right. Shoot.
I think you just can you hold it up to the camera so I
Yeah.
can see it?
Yeah, I think I did it wrong.
No, it looks fine.
It does?
It looked fine. That's what
Okay.
it looks like.
It's supposed to look like?
Until you get like a fabric underneath the needle,
Yeah.
everything looks bad.
Okay.
And one more thing,
Mhm.
so it's just a compromise. You know, you want to have that first row to be wide enough so that it fits over your hands. It has to fit over your hands, but it looks really messy and it curls. It curls really bad. Did you see that, Bridget?
I did, yeah,
Okay.
yes.
And you can see that mine didn't curl.
Yeah.
The reason is I wet it last night and I pinned it flat.
Got it,
But you have to get so far to be able to do that.
right.
So it's going to look messy, Jackie, until you get far enough. So don't take it out. Just continue on.
Okay, now I'm confused. This is whenever I work with two circulars, it screws me up until I get going and I get into a groove. Okay, so now I've finished, and now my working yarn is in the front, my front needle, and it's supposed to be on the back needle. So what am I not doing here? Right here.
Okay. Can you put it like this so I can see? All right. And which color is the contrasting? Is the black, right?
No, gray is the contrasting.
Okay. So your working yarn. So here, I've already made a few stitches here.
Mhm.
Put your working yarn facing the right.
It is on the right, but it's it's on my front needle. How do, I got to work these stitches on this back needle.
All right. So can you put your work on the inside?
Oh, is that what I need to do?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
All right. Now, does
Got
that
it.
make more sense?
Yes, that's what I was messing up. This is what always screws
All
me
right.
up. Whenever I start with circulars, I'm just like, I don't know how to put it right so that I know how to knit it. Okay, and I got it. Okay.
So are you actually working on the inside of your work?
So now I'm going to be on the inside of my work.
All right.
Oh, you know what I did? I screwed up. I just purled the outside of my work. Shoot.
But you've only gone one. You've
Yeah.
only gone one row. So take it out.
Take it out.
You have to arrange the needles so that
Yeah.
it makes sense
Yes.
in your hands.
Yes.
So
You're right.
instead of working on the outside of your work, you were
Yep.
working on the inside,
Yep.
which
I sure
is
was.
you can do that. You can make this entire mitten on the inside.
Side,
The
yes.
only thing would be is that the floats will be longer, and
Okay.
so you would have it would be bulkier.
Okay. So now I just got to undo all this. Great freaking day. I don't even know how to sort this out right now. Ah, I get so frustrated when I can't figure out what I'm doing. Shit.
It's hard. If you
Mhm.
want to, what you can do is make another round of the contrasting color of your light gray. Make like
Yeah.
one more round so that it's in the round and you're going in the right direction.
But I want to take that stuff out.
No, I know.
Oh,
After you take out the contrasting color pattern. So instead of knitting one round of the, of the contrasting color, knit
yeah.
2 rounds. And
Okay.
so what
Then
that
start the
does is would
design.
put more material down underneath the needle.
Yeah.
It makes it more stable. You wouldn't
Okay.
have to worry about the starting where you're connecting it,
Yep.
and it just makes it easier. And then remember on your next mitten that you have to do 2 rows instead of 1.
Okay.
So match it.
Okay. Right now I got to just figure out how to take these stitches off. Shit. I don't want to start over.
I know the feeling.
But I have a feeling. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
It might be easier.
I know. I get so frustrated when I can't figure out how to fix my mistakes and then just go, screw it, I'm starting over. But I want to learn how to fix mistakes. So I'm going to try to fix my mistake. Okay, I'm fixing it. This is good. So next Thursday is Thanksgiving. So we're skipping Thanksgiving and then the following Thursday, correct?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Or we can just do it a different day. next week too, is fine.
However it works out for you guys, it'll probably work out for me.
Okay.
I'd rather skip next week if we could, only because I just
Yeah,
feel like I have a lot going on already.
yeah, that sounds good too.
Then I might get a little farther.
Yeah, I might actually be caught up. See. We'll see. Okay. So if I'm going to not make that mistake again, then how does this need to be facing?
All right. Put your needles together. Put your your two circular needles together.
Okay, and then that extra stitch that I had pushed over on the other needle needs to go in the front or the back?
Let's just try
Okay,
this, the way they were originally set up.
well, I have this, I'm gonna put it back on this needle.
Yeah, put it on the back needle.
Okay,
All right. So now you took off all the contrasting colors, right?
correct.
And you're on, you knit one row of your contrasting color after the cast on, right?
Yes,
Okay. Knit a second row with the contrasting color,
okay,
and that will connect it in the round, and you'll be comfortable with that.
okay,
So you want the pearls inside sandwiched inside the needles, right?
yes,
Okay, now turn your needle so that your working yarn is facing right.
yep.
Okay,
It's on the
and
front needle?
what?
Maybe, it's, yeah, okay.
Okay,
I got it.
so now find the needle that you need to start with, the front needle, right?
Yep,
Okay, and stick your needle into the first stitch. So
okay, hold on, that's spare. I have a spare stitch. Let me count, make sure I don't have some weird stitch going on here. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have 30 stitches on each needle.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Oh, now you're going to close your needles together so that the pearls are inside.
yes,
All right, now turn it, you want the working yarn to the right.
it is.
Okay, so the working yarn is in the back needle, right?
Yes.
All right, so now
Not joined in the round yet.
that's correct.
Okay,
All right, so you're going to be, and you're on the one needle in the front.
yeah, I gotta turn this stitch around there because I think it's on backwards. I don't know, this stitch looks weird. I'm just gonna leave it. Okay, so I'm not in the round yet. I'm just gonna stitch these again, right?
Well,
Do I want to be in the round already joined?
well, you want your needles together.
I
You
do
want
have
your
my.
needles together.
Mhm.
The working yarn is in the back, right?
Yep,
Next stitch is right in the front facing you, correct?
oh, I think I have it wrong. I have these stitches in the back and then this one's in the front with the working yarn. It's supposed to be backwards, right?
Yes. So instead of, okay, Jackie, look, instead of going this way, right?
Yep,
Turn them around so that they're inside out.
okay.
Okay,
Now my pearls are on the outside. Oh, this is what's so hard for me.
nope, hold on. Okay, so we'll just change the pattern. So the first pattern is a pearl. And the second row, you
No,
can.
hold on. Yeah, the pearl. No, wait, you know what? The pearls are on the inside. These are good. This is good.
All right,
Yeah, it's good. Okay.
so now
So
it looks
I-
correct, right? Your working yarn is in the back.
Yes,
Your next stitch is on your new needle
yep,
towards you.
yep.
Okay, stick your tip into the next stitch.
So I'm not moving a stitch over like I did last time.
Right, that's correct.
Okay. Now I'll be able to join in the round right now.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
I got this.
so now you use that the yarn has to go in between the two needles, right?
Yep,
In the back. And
yep,
you're gonna make that stitch,
tight.
and that's how it joins in the round.
Yep, I got it. Okay, I'm gonna knit one around, all the way around. I got this. Thank you for your patience, Miss Susan. Gosh. Until I get going, it's like, it just doesn't, it's hard. It's just visually difficult.
The beginning is always hard, and it doesn't matter how many years you've done it, you can still make these mistakes because you can't see the fabric that you're making underneath
Yes.
the stitches or the needle.
Right.
And it's hard. It's hard,
hard.
Vicki.
It's hard.
We could use like a colorful language. It's damn hard.
It's damn effing hard. Okay, yay, I'm doing it right. Okay. Oh, small step for Jackie.
Suddenly just got cold in here. But the sun is bright.
Yeah, it's cloudy over here in Chicago.
It's what, cloudy?
It's cloudy, but it's not terribly cold.
Well, it was like 40 in this morning, 42 or so. And my husband said that it's supposed to get up to in the 60s.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I think it is.
Yeah,
It felt like it. It was a little windy this morning, but it was not terribly cold.
yeah.
I
I
gotta go
won't
let my
believe it
dog.
though. Yeah.
I gotta go let my dog.
When the weather gets nice and then it's a miserable day and then it gets nice and miserable, then my sinuses just they just drip all the time. I'd rather it just be all cold or all warm and not go in between. I don't know.
I made a big mess.
Come on.
Are you still putting a cast on or are you
I
past?
am. I was
Oh.
just counting. Yep, I'm at like 53, so I'm almost there. This does take a lot longer for me, this cast on.
I did it like 5 times.
Yeah.
I got pretty good at it last night.
Tell me when you're done, Bridget, because there's like one more thing I want to explain about the gusset.
Go ahead, I can listen.
All right. So you put the other side over on the other side of your pattern. That's good. So you probably won't have a problem. But Jackie, if you're looking at this chart, I just want you to know, you remember I put a bolder line down here so you can see where the start is.
Yes.
So here on the edge of your pattern,
Yep.
here on the edge of your pattern, right here,
Mhm.
this is the start right here, right?
That matches that line over there on the
Yes. And
gusset.
I
Yep.
bolden that line out, okay?
Yep.
All right. So when you get to the back here,
Mhm.
it's very confusing when you get to the edge over here. You want to count this stitch over here plus these, okay? So if you don't have this separated out the way that Bridget has, you might, when you get here, you know, and you're counting how many stitches to do, remember that this is the edge of this.
So that you're saying that left side, what you're pointing out now is the first, is the first column on this side.
Yes, this is the
Yes.
edge. So you have to count these stitches
Yep.
plus these.
Right.
Okay. So when you look at the pattern and you see that there's, you know, the right here, this is all white, you know, the background.
Yep.
And you may think that like when you get here, you might just say that there's 2 stitches here. But if you
they don't
look
correspond
all
to
the way
that.
across, there's
Right.
3 stitches over here. So that means that you have 5 total.
5.
Because
Yep.
this is the end of your the repeat right here.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
I remember that kind of threw me the first time I made the mittens.
Okay. I would definitely not have known that if you weren't explaining. This is a very difficult pattern. This is difficult.
Well, it's always difficult to explain your work, and I think she did a real good job on it. And you know, but if you don't read charts, then it's hard. I think I would make one left and the make one right for this pattern. It would make it a neater edge.
Oh, I think I have a mess here. Shit. So when I joined, I didn't join. What the hell?
Can you bring it up again?
I screwed this up again. I thought I joined in the round, but I have this huge like yarn between the two.
That's a join. It's a join.
Yeah,
You did it,
but it's
you did
bad.
it. Yeah, too bad.
Shit.
Too bad, Jackie. That's don't take it out.
Oh, I have to take it out. I can't have that.
Sure you can. It's going to be hidden on the inside. It's going to be all right.
It is?
Yep.
Okay. Why did that happen? I thought I pulled it tight.
Well, so how you can fix that is to take a stitch marker, you know, that opens up.
Yeah.
And put those 2 ends together. Keep them together.
Okay.
That's just what happens. That first stitch, if you don't have it, you know, held together with like a stitch marker, you get an elongated loop there.
Dang it. I mean, I can go back and unstitch. I can take these out. I want to do that. That drives me nuts.
Don't take it out. Just start your pattern. It's going to close.
It's going to
I
close.
promise. It's going to close.
And then you can fix it when it's done too.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to
Oh, that's
fix
true.
it when you're done. So
Yep.
what
Okay.
you do is you use the tails of, when you started,
Yeah, which is
and
there.
then you use those, and then you stitch it closed and make it neat.
Yep.
That loop is not a problem.
Can you quickly talk about making the 3 stitches in the vertical pattern after you finish the thumb before, or whatever, you finish the gusset?
Okay,
Just, so basically what you're doing is you're adding back in, I guess that's row 36 on the pattern, those 3, what look like circles, you're adding in, you're casting on 3 more stitches, right? To get back into the pattern.
okay. So where that is, let me put a little back here. Okay, so where you're going to add them is right here
Okay,
on this side. So this is going to be, this has all the stitches that it needs on the thumb, right?
Yep.
And you're going to put this on like waste yarn.
Yep.
And you could actually try it on at this point because you can put your thumb in there.
yep,
But you're going to have like a little space like right here. And this is where you're going to add those stitches.
okay. And it also allows you to continue the line
Yep.
up the mitten. Okay,
Yes, yeah. It looks like it won't work, but it actually does. So
Okay.
yeah, the line continues all the way up.
okay,
Usually when you have like a thumb like this, because those stitches are stressed, then they pull apart. And so
Yep.
a lot of times what people do is they pick up an extra stitch on both sides and then they knit them together and close that hole. So you can do that also. So if you find that you have a hole there, you do all of the stitches that you have that she tells you to pick up those stitches. And if you still have a hole, then you want to pick up extra stitches and then knit them together on the sides. The other
Right.
thing that you can do is because you're going to, because this is, you're going to continue with this after you get the rest of the mitten done. And so you're going to have a tail there where you join the working yarn and all of the colors. So you can use that tail to fill in the
to
hole.
fix it. Okay. I'm starting, I got it. Okay. And then we have this other chart. Okay. Okay.
Is there anything else you don't understand, Bridget?
I don't think so.
All right. The rest of it is straightforward. It's just that gusset and the increases. And I would use the make one left and right. It does
Okay.
get neater. I did a couple of rows on here, and it does make it neater. So, and it's just a nice detail.
So,
And if you do have a small hole at, when you do the make right and stuff, you can always take an extra length of the main color and, you just stitch it up along that seam and back, and that would fill it in. And you would probably never notice that in your mitten.
right.
So you might as well do that. I was just lazy. And I couldn't, when I first made these, I made them so long ago, like in the spring. I couldn't remember which needle I used, so which size. I hadn't written it down. I usually write down everything on my pattern and stuff. And I remember doing the E-wrap and stuff, but I think the new pattern is better. She improved it.
Okay.
How's it going, Jackie?
I think I'm doing well. I'm doing the color now. I'm doing the pattern.
Right, well, I think I'm gonna run. Thank you. And I hope to have what looks like a mitten next time I see you.
All right,
I hope to get at least to the thumb. We'll see.
all right.
We have 2 weeks, so you're gonna do it.
No, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it without help again, but I'm gonna have the video to look back. So
All right.
that'll be
So-
great.
If you guys have any problems, give me a call. We can always set up a little video, for it, and we can try to work out whatever problems
Okay.
you're having and stuff. So,
Okay,
all right. So not next week, but the week after.
Yeah,
okay,
that would be great.
All right. We'll see
okay.
you.
Thank you.
Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving to both of you.
Oh,
Thank
happy
Happy
Thanksgiving. to you.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, all right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Jackie, are you really good?
I think I'm good for now. I think I'm good. I mean, I wrote notes, and if you send me this video, I'll be able to review it again. And I think I understand it, which is the biggest part.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
still may screw it up, but I think I understand the starts and the stops and what I'm supposed to count when I get to the thumb.
Okay. You still have, I don't know, about 10, 20 rows before it gets, complicated with the gusset.
Right. So but I think I understand the gusset. So that I hope will help me.
All right.
I hope that'll get me through. If not, I'll give you a call or I'll
All
ask
right.
Gwen to help me too.
Okay. Talk to you later then.
Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Bye.